Why are there so many cheaters? There are thousands of videos on the subject, from adapters, strike packs, soft hacks, cheat software, and the infamous cronus ZEN, and the list goes on and on. By definition, cheating is to act dishonestly or unfairly in order to gain an advantage, especially in a game or an examination. Now, before I get into the why, we have to understand how cheats work, and this is where the skill gap comes from, rage hackers to soft cheaters. Let's start with the cronus ZEN, designed for controllers but can be used with mouse and keyboard. And I want you to think of it in two different ways. One, when it's being used on a mouse and keyboard, it acts similar as an emulator, where the game thinks the mouse and keyboard is a controller. Most of these users are simply using this device for aim assist with the mouse and keyboard, and usually don't run scripts such as anti-recoil, animation, deletes, jitter mods, auto quickscope, heavy aim assist, rapid fire, and so on. But by all means, you could run all of them, and as of making this video, they are 100% undetectable. But Phantasm, you say, you Lord of War, how is this possible with modern anti-cheats? Well, the answer is actually quite surprising. The cronus ZEN doesn't actually change any program files in the game. It just simply does what's possible within the game code. Which is why no anti-cheat has uncovered it just yet. Which is why they're called soft hacks, not AIMBOT, not wall hacks. There are other devices similar to this one on the market now, such as the Titan and ZIM Apex. But these don't seem to be as popular, so I'll only be covering the most prevalent ones. Next on the list we have the VPN, a favorite among popular Warzone streamers. The VPN is a great way to privatize your network, but it's also a great way to get away from skill-based matchmaking. Someone somewhere figured out that if you set your VPN to a location where there are low populated servers, it tends to not have a strict skill-based matchmaking system, because otherwise there wouldn't be anyone to play with these particular servers. This leads to one of the answers to this video. Why cheat? Well, simple. It gets old, going against full squads of TTVers almost every single match, and that's why a lot of popular Warzone streamers use this technology. Dropping ridiculous world records and insane gameplay is a thing of the past, and if you don't believe me, I'll let the king of Call of Duty tell you himself.
See, a lot of people ask me, why don't you do videos like that anymore? Why? And you know what? The simple, short answer for that, folks, is skill-based matchmaking. You're just not going 88-0 against players that are around or the same skill level. You know, it's just not happening. And I know there's ways around it. People get around it. I don't do that, though. And that's just... it's the sad reality of it, because I do know that people love pub stomps like this, but it's just not really a thing.
What Scump isn't saying here is that basically you have to cheat in some way to get insane gameplay. I would compare it to the steroid era in baseball, where everyone was using steroids and breaking all kinds of records. If you weren't using, you were losing. I think the analogy works here. If you want to keep up, get views, and get signed to orgs, you are most likely doing something to get an advantage. Remember the definition of cheating I talked about earlier? I think it definitely applies here. Last but not least on the list we have ZLANER, hacking software. This is where you can wall hack, have constant radar on, aimbot, inhuman rapid fire, silent aim, and so on. And not just the traditional aimbot that locks on to everything. These programs are designed to look legit by changing how fast you lock onto a target. Because you wouldn't want to just snap onto everything. Well, that would be too obvious. You would just want to seem cracked. A lot of players, instead of using mouse and keyboard, use controller to hide how much aim assist they actually have, which is a huge problem. Because you're not just figuring out if someone has aim assist, they have controller, so they have aim assist. So it's an AI versus too much AI. So does this player have too much AI versus a legitimate player? It's a very controversial and complicated subject, and maybe something I'll cover in a different video.
Oh, you're probably.
How do you lock on these guys from so far away, Z?
Holy fuck, Doc. You're literally just throwing me under the bus here, man. You know,
I don't know how you do it.
You already know that you're like all the fucking conspiracy theory tinfoil hat, where they got the tinfoil hat cutting the circulation off of the brain. Those guys are fucking drooling right now. They're drooling over the content that you're giving them right now.
All of these are a problem, and individually they all have their own complications. But why now? Why are cheaters so popular now? My guess is, at the bottom of this pile of cheating is the skill-based matchmaking system. It's incredibly hard to get good gameplay in any game nowadays, because of how popular esports are and how popular streaming is, and just how much money you can make if you're at the top. But what do you think? Why are there so many cheaters?
Right! Stop. Right! Stop. Yeah!
Oh my god. He has 40. He should have 49 kills. Guys, I love how people are like, oh my god.
Imagine I aimed like this.